Hi everyone, I'm Jeanette Larsen with Growth Unlimited, and I'm your host for this video. We've been doing a series of videos on things that you can actually do that will effectively help you change your life. And this is the final video that we're going to put on the presentation today. We've been talking about how to pick an effective leader. And now with this last video, we're going to talk about how you can hold that leader accountable for what they choose to do in an effective way. One of the biggest problems that we run into is that we get these people in a leadership position because we believe that they're actually going to help us achieve the goals that we have for our society and for our lives. And then once we get them in there, what we've seen happen over and over and over is that something changes in terms of what they are offering and what they want to do, and the things that they promised that we believe that they would do just don't seem to happen. And sometimes instead of what they promised to do, they actually turn around and do the exact opposite. The question is at that point, how is it that we hold them accountable for what it is that they're doing in an effective way? In our current information age, people have a tendency to look to technology and media to help these things occur. And the problem that we're running into that is different today than was in the past generations of our country. Because this technology is so accessible and so easy to deal with, we tend to believe that we can be effective in terms of eliciting change by using that technology. And I think this is one of the major issues that comes up for people. All you have to do is go to social media sites like Twitter or Facebook, and you're going to see a lot of rhetoric from people who are upset about what is going on, for example, in our national political situation. These people tend to use these forums to let their feelings be known, and they believe that they're being effective in making the changes that they need to see happen. But when you analyze what's really going on behind all of that, is it truly effective? For example, if you are not happy with something that's happening with a national political leader, and you get on Facebook and you rail about it, you call that person names, you make blanket statements about how something needs to happen to them, whether it's referring to their lives or whether it's referring to whether they need to be reelected, or just exactly what it is going, whatever it is that you choose to say about them. Where is that effective? How is actually what you are doing in that given moment going to make any real difference at all? When I have asked this question to people, they tell me, well, I'm being heard. And that's true. You are being heard, but are the people hearing you in a position to really make any difference? And is what you're saying actually engaging those people in making a difference? Or are you just letting off hot air? The question here is how to effectively elicit changes, how to hold that political leader directly accountable for their actions so that changes can be made in terms of what they are doing. And if you get on Facebook and you rail at President Trump, or you rail at Nancy Pelosi, or whatever political leader you're going after, and you call them names, and you talk about how horrible they are, and state things like they need to be kicked out of office, or we need to not elect them again, how is that really making any difference in today, in terms of what's happening today? Do you really believe that President Trump or Nancy Pelosi or whoever else politically you're targeting is actually going to pick up your Facebook post and read it? The answer is no, they're not. And actually, they probably don't really have any real idea of what your personal, particular feelings are, and do they really care? Because it doesn't affect their lives. So the question is, how can you directly affect their lives? And I'm not sure that I have all the answers, but I do know through my own experience over my lifetime, and I've been involved in situations where I have elicited political change. There are things that I have done that have been effective, and they are things that I currently continue to do. Now, in a previous video in this series, we talked about how you can make change, and what you need to do is look at what your personal power level is in this given moment. And you need to do the thing that is most effective in helping you practice your own personal power in the moment. But if that personal power is not strong enough to get the effective change that you want made, it is your responsibility to develop the skills by getting training or experience or whatever it takes to do it, to actively make yourself effective in terms of eliciting the change you're after. Your commitment is there if you're willing to do that work. And it is a commitment. It requires effort. If you are not willing to do the things you need to do to develop the skills necessary, then do you really have the right to complain? Or are you just wasting hot air and bringing everybody else down? What is your social responsibility in terms of dealing with the changes you see need to be made? Okay, now specific activities that can be helpful that you can do from your home include things like, when was the last time you called your mayor's office to let them know what you're thinking and what you want done? And if you have called your mayor's office and you have made requests, have you followed up to make sure they were followed through with? The only way we can hold our political leaders accountable is by following up. Asking them, why didn't you do what it was you said you were supposed to do? And what are you going to do to fix it? And this holds true with political leaders on every level. You can contact your city council member. Do you know who they are? Do you know how to reach them? That is your responsibility as a citizen of this country. You can contact your mayor. Do you know the avenues that you can use to reach them? And are you using them? You can contact your state representatives. You can contact your governor's office. When you start talking to higher level officials, you may not be able to talk to them directly, but you can talk to people who are there in place to make sure that those messages get on to them. And if you hold them accountable by following up when things don't happen the way you want them to, then you will eventually be able to sift through the layers that you will actually have to sift through to make things happen. And this goal is true for all elected officials, right on up to the highest elected officials in the land. When was the last time you called the White House? And if you like what the president is doing, don't you think it would be helpful to him to get that message? I'll tell you, it's interesting. That is a position I would never want to hold, because I'm not sure I have the stamina to withstand the onslaught that people in that position face. And so providing support for someone, if you like what they're doing, is a great way to hold somebody accountable. It spurs them on to do the kind of work that you want done. So, get in touch with your personal representatives. Hold them accountable. Let them know what you want done. Let them know what you're going to do if they don't do what you want done, because they are your representative. Their job is to do what you want them to do. Your job is to tell them what you want them to do. And if you engage in those kinds of activities, you're going to find that you can make a difference. There are things you have control of now, and you'll build more knowledge and more skills to take more control down the line. The secret is starting to do something that is effective, instead of placing yourself in the victim role by doing things that make no difference one way or the other. Thanks for watching today. If this video was helpful, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'd like more help in taking control of your life, contact me at www.growthunlimited.org by requesting a free consultation. It can be online or in person, depending on where you're located. But it's free. I'd love to show you how to do it. Growth Unlimited's mission is to help you have your life your way. We want to help you take control of your life so that you live the life you've dreamed of, that you deserve. We have a proprietary program that helps you do just that. Check us out by visiting our website and take our free assessment to see how we can help you.